Welcome to the first episode of Golden Gals Podcast. I am Samantha, your co-host.
And I'm Faith Berger, your other co-host.
And it's the first episode.
We're excited to be here. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my goodness. Excited it's finally happening. I mean, it's been since February of this year.
Well, listen, let me give some backstory to this because Samantha was like, oh, we should start a podcast. And I was like, oh yeah, we definitely should start a podcast. And so I go and I buy a microphone and it's been sitting in my house on my dresser for like months, untouched. Well, and it's not used right now, but excuse us for our quality because later on we will have our microphone things, but I have to get the what's the thing called, the
doggle cable, the dongle. But I mean, I literally texted her. I looked at it last night. It was like February 23rd, and I told her, I said, Faith, if you lived closer, we would do a podcast. And she said, bitch, what do you mean? I don't have to live closer.
Like, we could literally just video chat and do it.
I was like, you right. And then stuff happened. I got busy. And then yesterday, I was like, Faith, we got to do this. And I mean, I made logos. I made Instagram posts. I signed up for all the accounts. And I told her, I said, look, we have to do this tomorrow morning or it's not going to get done. So here I am, waking up at 7 o'clock in the fucking morning.
Like, that's so early.
It is on a Friday. It's my off day, baby. We ain't doing shit.
Okay, well.
But, I mean, we're here and we're doing it. And we're excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Every week, every Friday. Yeah, but it's crazy. I mean, we wanted to do this because every podcast is an influencer. A famous person. Somebody who doesn't live a normal life.
Well, yeah, and I also just feel like, I just feel like it's kind of hard to find, like, good podcasts or, like, something that I enjoy listening to because I just feel like it's like an inside joke and I'm not in on the inside joke. You know what I mean? Like, that's constantly how I feel about it.
And I just feel like they're talking about, like, all these crazy stories. This one podcast I listened to, they were talking about how they went on their brand trip to, like, Bora Bora. And how when they went in, their welcome bags, like, didn't have the same stuff in it. I'm like, girl, you really complaining about that right now? You went to Bora Bora.
I know. First world problems. Yeah.
Like, what? So I was like, it's just like, who can relate to that? And I think this girl is in her 20-something. I mean, like, not old. I mean, not saying, like, but like, not older, you know. But it's just crazy. It's just like who can relate to that? Other influencers. Right there.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, yeah. And it's going to be, like, hard. I'm going to do my best. I mean, obviously, because Fridays are pretty good for me because I don't have to leave until 12:45 to get to campus. So most Fridays I'm going to be good for that. But other than that, it's just, like, hard to find the time because I'm full-time student, part-time working. You're full-time working. Like, it's just
2 jobs.
Yeah, I mean, because you're wedding planning. So, okay, do we just want to dive into what we're doing in our day-to-day life? Like,
yeah, go ahead.
Who we are? You want me to start? Okay.
Start off, girl. You got this.
Well, I'm not exactly sure what to say.
Faith Berger?
Well, I'm a nobody.
I wouldn't say nobody. This woman.
Okay, yeah. So I'm her maid of honor for her wedding. Well, co-maid of honor. But really who I am, I'm just a college student. I go to Texas A&M University. I'm getting a degree. Gig 'em, baby. Yeah, you see that shine?
No, I didn't go to A&M.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Horns down. Anyway, so so I go to Texas A&M University. I'm getting my bachelor's degree in animal science production, and then I'm also getting an equine certification, so that way I can work with horses. It's just like 30 more hours of, like, all equine related classes. So, on top of my degree. So yeah, and then I groom dogs for my full-time job. I've been grooming dogs for what, 3 years now, I think, but I've been at this job for almost 2. So that's pretty much what I do. I only work like 3 days a week right now, but I'll go full-time in the summer. What else? I have 2 dogs. I've got a lab and then a husky mix, and I've got a boyfriend that I've been in a long-term relationship with for almost 3 years. 3 years. It'll be
and I have a boyfriend.
and I have a boyfriend. No, I live with him. Like we're yeah, we're together. We're together. Okay. I'm putting this flannel on because I'm kind of cold. And I also love art and I love to read books. Like books are my favorite thing. And then art is another like big deal for me. So I like to do digital art and then I'll sketch some. I sketched a little bit on my notepad the other day and I was like, ooh, this is fun because it's kind of hard on the iPad. I don't know because the lines don't come out right. Yeah.
I hated it. When I had my iPad and I tried to do digital art, no. Like pen and paper is the way for me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And I think everybody has a different preference, but I do find that I learned a lot doing on the iPad, but at the same time, like there's nothing like good old pencil and paper with an eraser and making like scratchy lines and,
Yeah,
getting your fingers black. So, yeah, that's me. That's me.
And her boyfriend's name is Radley.
Radley. Her fiance's name is Bradley. Bradley. It's Ley, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. For some reason I wasn't.
There will be
also
Go ahead.
Wait, what? Go ahead. No, say that.
There will be times where you hear us just go back and forth, and we may slip up and say, I might say Rad, she might say Brad. It happens, but they basically have the same fucking name, just one missing letter. Sometimes it's confusing.
Honestly, like while we're on this podcast, I might just call him JR.
You can't. I don't know.
It's gross. I don't know. It's gross. But at the same time, yeah, but like, I don't know. It's just gonna be confusing. Funny thing though. My papa's name we call him JR. Yeah, so it's kind of weird. Oh, I was just gonna say I'm also the middle sibling of my my siblings. Yeah, I'm the middle child, so I don't know if that makes a difference.
Yeah, you grow up different.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, is it my turn? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm Samantha Cragen, soon to be Broussard. I get married next October, and let's see. I own a wedding planning business. I opened up my business this July, actually. Rayleigh Joe Events. I named it mainly after my brother passed away back in 2015. Just kind of to commemorate him, have him with me every day. And I have a bunch of siblings. I have an older sister, Carrie. I have an older brother, Taylor. Love Tay-Tay. He's got a baby. And a girlfriend named Kayla. Then I have another older brother, Kyle. And then I had my other brother, Cameron. Him and Kyle were the same age. And then I have a younger brother, Damien. So I got quite a few siblings. And I have a little brother, Wyatt, from my dad. So there's just a lot of siblings in there. Crazy, crazy house. Wouldn't recommend coming over. But everybody loves Mama Pebbles. So. But other than that, I work from home. I'm a medical scribe. I have my wedding planning business. I'm planning my wedding. I have 2 dogs. I have a corgi and a dorgie. The corgi's Sadie, and the dorgie's Berkeley. My fiance's name is Bradley. We met in school. Probably kindergarten, because we grew up in the same little town in Texas. Hampshire Finette. Hook Morns. And
disgusting.
I actually had a crush on him since like middle school. Everybody knew it except for him. How the fuck do you not know? And then sophomore year comes around. We're in the same class together. The teacher keeps putting us right next to each other in the seating chart. And I guess he caught the love bug because homeboy started flirting. Flirting up a storm. Brandy Broussard. I also remember Brandy Broussard was sitting next to me. We left class that one day, and she was like, Samantha, that was gross. I'm like, what? She's like, Bradley is hardcore flirting with you, and you're just letting him. I was like, no, he's not. I'm delusional. Delusional. I'm like, no, he's not. What are you talking about? And then, just slowly started rumbling. And we ended up going on our first date to Macho's. My local people will know. Chef's kiss. We stayed there for like 4 hours. A while. Just talking. I mean, literally just, like, I don't think there was a moment of silence.
Okay, can I ask you? He actually talked. Well,
Oh, yeah.
because here's the funny deal though. Bradley is very quiet. He's just a very quiet person. He's very shy. So when she says that he's talking a lot, I'm like, I mean, he is getting to where he's talking to me more,
It takes a
I will
couple
say.
times.
Yeah,
Ask
but he's
Pebble.
getting there.
She'll tell you. We grew him out of his shell. He ain't no shallow baby anymore. I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, I mean, we talked for like 4 hours, and then probably not even a full week later, we had another date, and we went to the movies. I think we watched
I was about to say, what'd you see?
that movie with Kevin Hart where he was the caretaker. God, I can't remember what it is, and I literally saw something about it the other day too.
Oh, was it on Netflix?
No, it was like it's not on Netflix. I mean, it might be on Netflix now, but I can't remember. It was with Kevin Hart though. That's gonna bug me. It's gonna bug me anyway. But yeah, I'm the daughter of a divorced couple. Sorry, mom. But yeah, I mean, my dad's Dustin Cragen. My mom's Pebbles, now remarried to Eckhoff. My stepdad's Joseph Eckhoff. Eckhoff. He's great. He's the greatest stepdad ever. But yeah, I mean, we just started dating, built this house before we graduated high school.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I didn't really say a lot about how I met Radley.
Go ahead.
Because
I
I don't even, do you know this story? Do you know it?
We're
No,
best
okay.
friends, and I don't even know it. I just want all those people to know.
Well, it's kind of funny because this was right when I got out of that relationship, that toxic relationship with that one guy. You know exactly who I'm talking about, yeah. And this was when I first moved to College Station. I was going to Blinn in Bryan before I transferred to A&M, and I was in this one class, this like psychology class. I don't know. There was a big group chat, right? And so I was like so socially awkward after that. And normally I'm a
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
like out there person, like charismatic kind of,
Extra
like talk to a lot of people.
social
Yeah,
butterfly.
yes, extrovert. So, um, this one guy texted in this group chat. I'll never forget this day. He texted. He's like, "Oh, I'm having a party at my house. Like, blah blah. Y'all come out." And I was like, "Okay, are there any girls there? Because if there aren't, like, I'm not going." And he was like, "Yeah, Bella and Kenna are here." And I was like, "Okay, cool. Like, I'll go." So I went and I met Bella and Kenna, and we clicked. It was fun. I was like, these girls. I'm like, okay, these are gonna be my new friends. Like, whatever. So later on, Kenna is roommates with Liana, and I met Liana. I can't really remember where I met her. It was like some of the point with the girls, and then they were like, "Hey, Faith, like come to Friendsgiving. We're having it with our friends." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Okay, cool. Social interaction, great." At this point, still,
I
I'm
need
socially
more.
awkward. Yeah. So I'm literally okay. So I was supposed to make like biscuits and gravy. I couldn't even bake the biscuits correctly. Okay. I don't know what happened. They were all, I guess I didn't, I don't know. Looking back on it now, I can make biscuits. But anyway, I literally just ended up bringing a bowl of gravy with me. And I go to this house and they're in the barracks. Okay. And this is like Party Central Station. So
Hey, that
I'm
was
over.
wasn't that next to where we stayed for your ring dunk?
Yes, 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 right near there. So I go to the barracks, like, whatever, I'm excited. I get there, there's a ton of people. Okay, a ton of people. I don't know a lot. of boys, okay? And Radley is there on the couch, drunk as fuck, just talking. He's just talking. And I remember I was like walking somewhere. I looked at him, listened to him talk for like 2 seconds, and then I turned around and walked away. I did not talk to any guys that night. I did not introduce myself, nothing. Yeah, it was really bad, Samantha. And so after that, fast forward, Kenna and Liana actually live next, like a few units down from Rad and Nolan and Lawson at the time too. So basically, I met him again. We were at the barracks again, and this time I was not socially awkward. I was on Tinder. I was doing my thing. I was like, we went out to the barracks.
Oh,
I
he's
was,
swiping.
yeah, I was like dancing and stuff. Yeah, and that night is really when we had a good conversation, like at Liana's. Like I actually talked to him and all this stuff. And basically, we ended up becoming best friends, me, Rad, and Nolan. Like it was us three. And I would literally just go over there and hang out with them and like not hang out with the girls because I don't know, I just really clicked with him and Nolan both. You met Nolan. I mean, Nolan's like a great, I mean, you can have any kind of conversation with him. He's amazing.
Even though he's like a 50-year-old man on the inside.
So is Radley though. They're all like, both of them are very, their conversations are crazy.
That man
So
was talking
yeah,
about 401ks. I was like,
well yeah.
aren't you 20? Like, what?
Radley has a 401k.
Well, so does Brad, but he's not like all about it. And he was like saying all this shit. I was like, what the fuck? How do you know all this insurance claims and everything? I was like, God, okay.
If there's anything that I can say about Nolan and Radley as a duo and them separately, they're just, their brains are full of just knowledge of random stuff. Like just
Intellectual.
random things that I'm like, I look at Radley sometimes and I'm like, how do you know this? And he's like, I just be researching. Like I just be reading stuff. Like I look over at his phone, he's like reading
Articles.
articles and I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, nerd. They
Oh,
call
God.
me a nerd for reading.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically we're besties, right? And then one night I got drunk and I was like, oh, well, I had feelings for him for a while, and I hugged him because I was leaving for like a week, and I was really sad about it because I basically like I would stay the night at their house, like on the couch, like I was just I don't know, I was very comfortable. So anyway, we were hugging, and I was like, oh, let me kiss him. Oh, so then I kissed him and I made the move. Yeah, I'm the one that made the move. Yeah, and he
Y'all
reciprocated,
to
of
the
course.
floor. Radley. Damn.
Well, he had just gotten out of like a serious relationship with this one girl a few months before, like maybe a month or two before. And so he wasn't really like looking for anything, but the man, I mean, how was I supposed to
It's
know? Like
always when you're
I
not
figured,
looking.
well, yeah, and then I figured like, okay, this body language that he's giving me, like he likes me. Like, come on. But I was
Right?
really insecure about it. I was scared. Yeah, and now we're like almost 3 years later. 3 years in January. So
Yeah, you guys are catching up to. Well, I mean, you'll never catch up, but bet you're catching up to us. We're 4 years in December.
yeah, see, so we're only oh,
Mm-hmm.
for some reason I thought it was like no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because of high school. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You want to talk about how we met?
Yeah. Oh God, that's like so long ago.
So me and Faith met probably 2018. Was it 2018
I think so.
or
I think
20?
it was like
I don't remember the timeline of Fuckface.
I think it was my junior year that I met you. So it
Sophomore.
would have been your sophomore.
Yeah, so it was 2018 because I think 2017 was like freshman year.
Yeah.
We met at the fair, Southeast Texas Fair, in
Texas
line.
Rice Festival, baby.
Was it the Rice Festival or the fair?
Yeah. No, it was
Oh
the
no, it
Rice
was the
Festival.
Rice Fest because it
Yes,
was like
because
September time.
yes,
Okay,
that's why I was
so
wearing that cute orange shirt.
this is when the Rice Fest actually had like big adult rides and not just little kid rides. It was
Yes.
in line. She was standing in line for the like kamikaze or something. Something goes upside down. And
Yeah.
my other friend at the time, she was dating this one guy who was friends with this other guy who they wanted to set me up with. Julie was dating.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
oh,
And
okay.
So, like, we all went over there, whatever. And then I met Faith. And then I got into a really bad relationship with that one guy. What's your question?
Did we meet because I knew him?
Yes, because you were in
Okay,
mine.
okay.
Like, it was you, him, I think Gage and Brittany, too.
Yeah,
Like, that's
yeah,
how long ago.
probably.
And so I got into the relationship, that really bad relationship, whatever. And I met Faith. Like, me and Faith, like, she was my person in that relationship, basically. And then once that relationship ended, I got really scared that she wasn't going to be my friend anymore because of the person. And she was like, fuck that bitch.
Well, like, I think I was still, I don't remember if I was still friends with him or not. I don't know, but
I
I
think
was
so
like,
for a little bit.
yeah, like, I mean, I'm not gonna, why would I choose? No, that's stupid. That's stupid.
And you got the better. But I was really, let's just say I was really scared. Like, I think I called her, like, crying, freaking out. Like, I was
Did
like,
you
Faith, I
really?
love you. Yeah, I think so. I was like, Faith, I love you. You're my best friend. Please don't leave me. Like, it was bad. It was sappy bad fear.
I don't
And
remember that.
so, fast forward, we were friends for a while. And
Bestie
then,
gals.
like, bestie for the resties. Even though she lived far away, you know, we would just get together whenever we can. And
Well,
then
and also Pebbles was really strict. Cause like
yeah,
you couldn't come to my house, right?
I hope she listens to this. I hope she listens to this and realizes the opportunities I missed to hang out with you.
Well, listen, I love Pebbles. Like she's a great person, but I think she was really strict because I remember
Hey,
like
remember Pebbles Law? Everybody said Samantha's house was under Pebbles Law.
well, yeah, basically because my mom when we were at my ring dunk. Sorry, this is so a side note, but we'll continue in a second. My mom, we were talking, and I was like, yeah, but remember, I would always have to go to Samantha's house because Pebbles was really strict. Like, and my mom was strict, but not that strict. Like, she knew where I was going. Like, she trusted me. So I don't know. I mean, you know, Pebbles is Pebbles.
Pebbles Law. Pebbles is the dictator of the Eckhoff household. Let's just say that. Joseph will combat with this story with me because he says that as well. But fast forward probably like 2 years, like roughly 2, maybe 3 years. Faith got into a really bad relationship.
Yes, really
And
bad.
it was brutal as her friend to watch. And it just kind of like killed our friendship. And we didn't talk for like 2 years. Like
Yeah, which
probably
is so stupid. I don't know why I didn't just immediately text you after. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know
yeah,
why I wasted so much time. I guess maybe because I like wasn't sure where your headspace was at, but like
yeah.
I was like so over that shit. That guy ruined so many friendships that I had, like really and
Fucking
truly. Well, yeah, and it was like he like isolated me from my friends, from everybody. Like it was just a very bad relationship.
fucking men.
Dumb,
See,
so dumb.
that's dumb.
That's one of my regrets.
What is it? What is the thing going around now? Like dumb boy dating like sequence that you go through until you find like your right person. We hit it, baby.
Yeah, but
They
he wasn't
clearly
like a
to
pattern
have
though.
Radley in the name, and they're good.
Yeah, but he wasn't like a pattern. That was like really the first like really crazy boyfriend that I had ever had.
Yeah, solid.
I don't think that I really dated anybody after him. Like I went on like Tinder dates or whatever, but I was not in a relationship after him until Radley.
I'm a high school sweetheart, baby.
Work. No, but that is one of my regrets though is letting him ruin a lot of my
Yeah,
friendships in friendships that I should have just never I should have stood my ground and said, "No, what? No,
yeah.
absolutely not."
And there was
Like,
nothing wrong with me. I think that's what made me mad too. Because I was like, I understand if I was like, you know, getting Faith to come out with me all the time or anything like that. But no, I literally, we live far away from each other. What the fuck was I going to do? You know, I'm the bestie guy. And the bad thing is, me and him were friends. We were
yeah,
friends. We
it's
worked at Market
interesting.
Basket together.
Well, yeah, it's interesting because he's a great friend. I think that he's great as a friend, But when you put him into a relationship, he becomes very possessive. I don't know if that's the same as his relationships now that he's older. Like, I don't know. But you could not put me, if we were in a room together, I would probably, I don't know. That last conversation that we had,
bring down
oh
the
man,
hammer.
listen, this is funny. I don't know if I told you about this, but one time I was still in my apartment in College Station, Texas, okay? And he was like in town or something. I like had blocked him everything. He fucking drove that truck by my house. I knew the sound of that truck. It was 3 a.m. I was eating Fruity Pebbles. I will never forget. I called him and I was like, why stop fucking driving past my house? Like, stop revving the truck by my house because his truck is loud. And he was like, blah, 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 like, just stop it. And I'm like, I'll take, yeah. I don't know what he said. I can't remember. But I was like, I'll take a fucking baseball bat to that truck. I don't give a fuck. Blah, 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 blah. He's like, do it. I'll get money for it. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I was so mad. I was like, I'm about to go carry Underwood. Yeah, I was like, I'm about to go carry Underwood on this bitch and fucking just pound. Like, take a fucking baseball bat and pound his truck with it. Ooh, I was so mad. He made me so mad. As soon as he hung up, I blocked his shit and I was like, all right, that's all I needed to do. I think that's the last conversation I had with him.
Good. Needed to be done.
Oh,
But
yeah, I know. That.
2 years, no contact, isolation. We were both just doing our own thing, you know? And then,
Yeah.
what was it? Maybe like, was it last? No, it was the year before last year.
Yeah.
I honestly don't quote us on our timelines because maybe 2 years ago at the most, probably a little bit sooner. We just kind of started reaching back out to each other. And then after,
Yeah, because I feel like we were texting a little bit, weren't we? Before you
like
asked about the bridesmaid stuff?
sparse stuff. And then
Yeah, but still,
I was
something.
just, one day, I remember this when I worked at the daycare. I was just sitting there and I was like, I'm going to ask Faith to be my bridesmaid. And I mean, we were like, okay, but we weren't close. We were
No, not
not
at all. Yeah,
close, like,
no.
as we usually were. And I sent her a message and was like, hey, Faith, I know we're not close. I know that we've had, like, our issues, but I really have always imagined my wedding day, like, with you standing next to me. And
I cried.
yeah, I think we FaceTimed and cried, if I remember correctly.
So. Yeah,
And I
because I was
think
like, oh, I gotta call her.
let it all out. All the pent up
Well, yeah.
emotions, let it out.
Well, and it's funny because like I'm sure that you were nervous to ask, but at the same time, like it's so funny because that's like so water under the bridge. Do you know what I mean? Like it was like not even a second thought, and then we rekindled immediately that friendship. I mean, immediately it was like we're texting. Wait, what?
Twin flames.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
and
we're soulmates.
the
Randy is
rest
my twin flame.
is that, see, I don't understand anything like that. I don't get it. I
We'll
don't
dive
get it.
into that later.
Okay, that'll be another episode. It can educate me on everything. But yeah, I mean, since then, the rest is history.
Yeah, and so now we're trying to plan her wedding, which I'm not really.
Good thing I'm a
There's
wedding
just so much.
planner.
Yeah, yeah. So we're planning. She's planning her wedding basically.
And Faith is
Um,
my friend.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then, yeah. Well, what happened with that was I really was conflicted. Okay, I was like, who do I make? Because I couldn't do matron and maid because neither of the two I wanted are married.
yeah,
And I was like, God, I really want, like, I want two. And I was like, Julie's she's always been there. And I was
yeah.
like,
She's like sister
yeah,
to
I was
another
like,
mister.
she needs to be the maid of honor. And I
Yeah,
knew Miss Uncoordinated, and she will back that up every single time I say it, couldn't do it by herself. And I was like, God, just like, why can't there be something else other than like matron? And then I was just like, the dude has the best man. I'm gonna have a fucking best woman. And so I texted Julie and I was like, hey, look, I'm gonna make Faith best woman. And she was like, hell yeah, absolutely, love that idea. Go right ahead. So I texted Faith and
We
I said,
love Julie.
You've been promoted to best woman. You are now co-maid of honor with Julie James.
Okay, so my question is, am I gonna be like, so she's gonna be maid of honor, and I'm gonna be best woman, like on the thingy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. I live for
like,
that.
When I made like the ceremony kind of like seating, standing chart or whatever, it literally says like bride, maid of honor, best woman.
Fuck yeah, I love that.
I don't know. I think it's good. And I mean, it's a wedding. Like I tell all my clients, like there are no rules. This is your wedding. Like nobody cares as much as you do about your wedding because it's your wedding. So I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want. And that's what I tell them. I said, do what you want.
Yeah, I mean, and I also think that everybody's different too.
Yeah.
Like everybody has different opinions, different viewpoints, all the things. And I think weddings are a great way to be like unique. Like, I mean, you could just read your vows like in front of everybody, or you could do vows like just you two.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, just you two with the vows.
Yeah. Before I get like when I have my hair and makeup, before I put my dress on, we're gonna go do it. Because I still want to do like first look or anything. I want him to see the dress down the aisle so he can cry. But
yeah.
I was like, we can just do this. Like it'll be fine. It'll still be cute pictures because I'll have like a cute outfit on.
Well, yeah.
Get it good.
Yeah, I like that idea too, I think. Because it's very like vulnerable, and it's really just meant for, that other person.
And like you said, he's shy. I don't want him to have to pour out his heart and soul in front of 100 people.
Yeah.
Like I was even nervous about that. And I'm me. I was like, I can't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very sketchy. Yeah, it's very
And I
scary.
feel like it'll just be more like personable, intimate. That's where
Yes, very intimate. Yes, that's what we were looking for.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
yeah,
all
it's like vulnerable.
Watch out the window of the little house. You guys can just watch.
Okay.
And then I thought about it. I was like, maybe I should wait till after my makeup's done. Because we all know I'm gonna cry my eyes out.
Yeah, I know. God,
but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah, I think about it sometimes. Like sometimes I imagine like walking down the aisle to Radley, and I just cry. Like I cry while I'm just thinking about it.
Every time I see a video of like a bride walking to her groom and the groom like crying, I bawl. What am I gonna do for mine if I'm bawling over complete strangers? And I tell my clients too, I'm like, look, I'm emotional. I'm an emotional person. So if I cry, just know it's just because I'm just so happy.
What is your zodiac sign?
Pisces.
Oh, Pisces. Why do I always forget that? You're like the only Pisces friend that I have.
I'm a Pisces.
It's very that.
I don't know any of the stuff. But.
Well, just like water signs are typically more like emotional. So
makes sense because tears, water.
Okay.
Right.
Are we getting off topic?
Maybe that makes sense because I love fish. I love like koi fish and stuff like that. For some unknown reason, like there's a place in Katy that I make Bradley take me to. It's like a koi pond like sanctuary, and I'm just like,
oh, that's cute.
There's Shannon's fish like this.
Busy. Yeah. Okay. I think we're getting a bit off topic. I don't know where we're supposed to be.
We were talking about ourselves and how we became friends.
Yeah, I mean,
God. It's it. We were friends, we weren't, and we're friends again. And it wasn't because we weren't friends because of bad blood. We were just friends because of a bad asshole, basically.
Yeah, I let a man come between us, which was stupid. Not even a man, a boy child.
Don't make my twitch. Gonna start my twitch again.
I know. Every time I just want to like gear up to
Yeah.
fight. I get mad about it.
So basically, the moral of the story was we were single, we were besties. One of us got into a bad relationship. We weren't besties. We found our perfect match, and now we both found our perfect match, and now we're besties again.
There you go. That's how life goes. Don't you
It
know?
also helps that our boys like love each of us. Like I could say
Oh
bad.
yeah.
Like he's always like, "Oh, we're going to Face." Or
Yeah.
Faith.
Yeah.
I talk about Faith, and he's like, "Faith."
No, I'm happy because at first when I first met him, I think I don't know what I thought because I was like, oh, he probably doesn't fucking like me.
It's because
It's like,
he's so
oh
shy.
no.
He's
Well,
just so
yeah,
shy.
and then, well, and I love Samantha too because she immediately gives me a play-by-play on like what the fuck is said. As soon as we leave each other, she's like, "Oh, he's saying this. Oh, he's saying
Bradley, if
that." I
you're listening,
literally do the same thing.
close ears. I
Well,
don't
no,
do that.
when it relates to me,
Okay,
most of the time.
but Faith does the same
You know what I'm
thing. I
saying?
mean, we
Well,
went up to the
yeah.
house. It was like last weekend or the weekend before for her ring dunk, and she was like, "My friends loved you."
Oh yeah, no, they did, and my
I was
parents
like,
too. Well,
"That's right.
obviously my parents.
Doesn't love me." That's literally what I said. I
Facts.
said, "Who doesn't love me?" Everybody I've met liked me. I mean, there's
Well,
a
yeah,
couple girls
exactly.
out there who have a grudge against me for some unknown reason. I mean, more power to you, whatever. But
Well,
I
but
feel like
here's
a great friend.
well, yeah, I agree, But there's also that quote that's like, you can be a villain in one person's story, but you can be a hero in another person's story. I think
True.
about that all the time. I'm like, who was I a villain in their story? Like who did
It
I hurt?
is, it's not my responsibility for how people feel about me.
That's true. That's very
So,
true.
I mean, I really just, I would say it's like a I don't give a fuck attitude towards it. Like, if you don't like me, I bet you're fucking watching this, but you don't like me. But, I mean, it's just,
Oh, Samantha, that
I
is
mean,
funny.
I have grudges myself, like, with people, but it's for good reasons. I have an ex-best friend who used me.
Oh yeah, that was rightfully so. Hang on, let me put my hair up. I think it's just looking kind of crazy. I went to bed last night and I didn't like blow dry it or anything. I
Yeah.
shampooed it twice because it was really dirty.
You always are supposed to double poo, is what I heard. Double poo,
Double poo.
double shampoo.
That's
I double
funny.
shampoo. I washed the shit out of my hair last night. Oh,
Yeah.
cute. Yeah, I can't do that, but I like my hair down. But yeah, I
Oh, it's
mean,
fine. Just keep it down.
I hold grudges, but
I
as
don't
for
know.
go,
Yeah, I think that I used to, but there are certain, like, I wouldn't say it's a grudge. I would say there are certain people that I will not allow back in my life because of the things that they did to me, and how they treated me.
isn't that a grudge?
No, that's not a
Oh, well,
grudge.
that's how I feel
That's,
about mine, and I'm calling it a grudge.
no, I don't think it's a grudge because I feel like, um, when you like okay, when you have a grudge against somebody, it's you never forgive them, you never understand their point of view, none of that. It's but this for me, like, I can forgive somebody for doing something to me, right? But that does not mean that I will let them back into my life and make myself vulnerable again to them. Like, I will be cordial and civil, and I'll, like, if they text me like, "Hey, how are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, good, how are you?" But that's the extent of it. It's not going to be the same friendship that it was. You
Nah,
get
I got.
me? Yeah, grudges are like kind of crazy. I don't think that you hold grudges. I think you just keep your
I
distance.
feel like I don't like. I'm not gonna forgive you for treating me so poorly. For no,
Okay.
all because you got a boyfriend. Both of them. Both of the people I don't like anymore is because they got a boyfriend.
Okay. So maybe this is a grudge.
I
Cuz you're
just,
not forgiving.
I think I just hold, like, I mean, I know I'm not like the greatest person alive. I make mistakes.
Nobody
Everybody
is.
does. I might not be your cup of tea because of how I am and like my personality, but I also know that I'm a great person to have in your corner, and you're just gonna shit on me because you think that this is the boy that you actually, or like this is a boy that's actually gonna love you.
Mhm.
Nah, you can keep that shit.
Yeah, that whole situation was really just a lot.
But I do give forgiveness when it's like I forgive my
When it's
aunt.
warranted.
I forgive
Yeah.
Boober for all that stuff that went down. I mean, she's probably never going to talk to me again because that's just she holds grudges. But it's just that's just how it is. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to deal with the decisions I make.
Yeah, I think I really learned forgiveness when it came to my dad. Um and like all that. Well, okay, also they don't know, but my parents are divorced. Mine have been divorced since I was 8. How long have yours been divorced? Since you
I
were
think eight. I think it was like 8, 9, because Joe came in
Yeah,
my life around like when I was like 10.
10? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, so about the same. And my dad was married to this woman for 10 years, and she really just mentally like abused us and stuff like that. Like it was just a lot of
Yeah,
mental stuff. Well, she had severe bipolar and she was supposed to be on lithium, and she said that God saved her. And I said,
they
"Okay,
all say
she's
that.
fucking crazy." Yeah,
Oh,
right.
that's another topic. We'll get into that on another podcast. We're not diving into that rabbit hole today.
Yeah, but what I'm saying basically is that I had a terrible relationship with my dad, and I remember I called him. I think I was like 17 or 18. I remember I was on the front porch steps of my house, and I had called him because I was just so mad, and I would just get so mad about, just stupid stuff. Like I would just get mad about my friends doing so and so things, like whatever. So I called him and I'm like, I'm just tired of being angry with you. Like I'm extremely angry with you all the time. Like I'm so tired of it. I just want to be happy. And from there, we built a little bit of a relationship, and now it's to the point where I call him like almost not every day, but pretty much like whenever I get off campus sometimes like I just call. He's in Poland right now. He's on his way home. But
I did see that on his Facebook. We're Facebook friends now, but I did. Yeah, I mean, I have a rocky relationship with my father too. My real dad, not Joe.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Um, I don't. I mean, there's been a couple times where I've like stood my ground and I've like voiced about how like awful things are, but I don't think it matters. Like when he told me he wasn't coming to my wedding, and I voiced
Ridiculous.
that big spew about how I feel like he only has ever looked at his feelings for things and not mine. It was, I mean, I don't even remember. He said, he really didn't say anything. He just said, okay, well, I always love you. I was like, did you not just hear anything I said? You know,
Well,
and
my thing is like, how is your dad not gonna come to your wedding?
like, I understand, but like,
I
this
don't.
is not about you. Like, this is about me. Like, can you not act like a father for 1 second? And that's what I told him. And after that, we really haven't talked. We haven't. I saw him at somewhere, and all he said was, "Hey, that's it." We haven't talked. I haven't seen him. I've been needing to go over there because I need to see Nanny and Pop. But other than that, nothing. It's just because like I just don't feel like he understands my point of view, and he's not. He said Jesus found him or saved him. But I told him I was like I don't feel like you've ever treated me as your daughter. I feel like you've just treated me as somebody you could get like to hurt mom to get custody to hurt her, and like you never
Yeah,
looked at how it affected me.
right.
Like I
No,
mean
I agree.
he drug us to court for I mean like years and years told awful lies about my stepdad um just to hurt my mom. Like that's all because my mom divorced him and got with somebody she's
Joe.
loved for years. Like she loved
Well,
Joe
yeah.
years before she met Dustin. And then you're just gonna like I tried to rebuild. Like I tried to, have
Yeah,
some peace, animosity, and then he was like, "I'm not going to your wedding because Joe's walking you down the aisle." And I was like, and I was already pissed from the whole Boober situation, and I think it was like what you did with your dad. How you just like, I can't be angry with you anymore. And I mean, I let him have it. I let it all out. I was like, it was, I
air
mean,
that laundry, girl.
it was a giant message. And I was just like, I mean, I love you. You're my dad, but like, you've done shitty things. And
Well, yeah, and he wasn't there for you for a
yeah,
lot of it. Like,
I
who
mean,
was there? Joe.
and it was like growing up, like when custody was over and everything, and I was kind of like intermediate school. Like I feel like that was the greatest our relationship was, and then I think I got older and slowly like realized things and kind of like distanced myself, and then he would always like badmouth my mom and Joe, and once I got older I was like, Joe's great, what are you talking about? And then the whole Cameron thing happened, and he told me that that was Joe's fault, and I lost my shit, literally went psycho on him. And I feel like after that it just kind of like
Yeah,
till
it
now.
just went downhill. But it just seems like he just hasn't really cared to be like a father figure to you, like at all. It just sounds to me like he's really just trying to get your mom angry.
Yeah, well, like back then, yeah. Now he's just, I feel like he not given up. I don't want to say given up because like I've kind of closed those doors, but I feel like he was just like, well, I'm your father, so you should love me, almost.
Well, yeah, yeah, as if you don't have to build a relationship with
Yeah.
your father.
Like
Yeah.
I got the phone works both ways conversations growing up. Bullshit. Yeah, it does. Fucking call me. I'm a
Yeah,
child.
it does work both ways.
I'm a literal
Yeah.
child. How are you telling me that? But I don't. I'm fine. I mean, I cried about it for like 3 days afterwards, but
It was
we're good. I just
heartbreaking.
had to let it out. I just had to let it out. And like I told myself,
No,
I
and I'm
said,
proud of you.
somebody who didn't raise me, well, I mean, before 10 years old, if somebody who didn't raise me before 10 years old could love me like his own daughter and kick his own mother out of the house one time because she disrespected me, that's all I need.
That's dad. Yeah, that's dad. Yeah. Well,
Daddy
I
Joe.
think well, I think what I'm gonna do for my wedding, I think I'm gonna have them both. I'm gonna have Todd and dad.
Solid.
So yeah, because I like me and dad have gotten significantly closer, but like Todd went to every single game. And
He
like
loved.
when he couldn't come, or like when mom and them couldn't come, she'd be like, "We're so sorry, like we can't make it to your game." And I'm like, "It's fine. You come to literally every single game, like it's fine."
Yeah.
But he would always show up, he'd always bring me a Gatorade. Yeah, best stepdad ever. For real.
I considered that, but then I looked at, like, Bradley and him don't have a relationship. You know, Bradley and Joe were
Yeah.
like, Joe tells him
Yeah.
that that's his favorite son, and that's not even his son. Like I posted something about the Rice Fest, and he said, my good kids and even better son-in-law is what he commented on it, and I was like, because Kyle's down, so we went to the Rice Fest with everybody, and I was just like, okay,
Hmm.
I'm not your favorite
Yeah.
anymore. Understand?
Oh yeah,
Understand?
you're not the favorite, sis. No, but I respect you. I respect your decision for that, and I think that it's very warranted and it's fair. And it's your wedding, it's your day. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't think it matters. But yeah, I want both because I think I mean
Well,
even though
you have that
well,
relationship now, so
well yeah, but even then, like even when I didn't have that relationship, he was always calling. Like dad was always calling, trying to check up, and I was just like, just ignore
mine,
it. What?
mine, he would cut my phone off if he was mad at me. Like call the phone people and cut my phone off. So
Your
eventually,
dad?
so eventually, mom and Joe just went and got my
A
like
different phone for
their
you.
stuff on their own stuff, but I didn't get to go to California to watch Taylor graduate from boot camp because of him. So I missed all those memories, and especially with Cameron because he went like that's when he was still alive.
Oh.
So I think I held that grudge against him too. But I aired that out too when we
Good,
had our
good.
bill.
Well, because I also think the first step in doing anything and recovering anything is letting it out. You gotta air that out. Like I mean, it's
Acceptance.
yeah, acceptance and facing, looking it in the face. That's a big deal.
See,
Okay,
that's what I'm talking about. I feel like a lot of other podcasts don't do this because they want to keep an image of themselves. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to be curated to their agenda, basically, is what I would rather say. Us, we don't have an agenda. We're just doing this for fun.
Well, I don't have any secrets. Like, this is just my life. You know what I mean? Like, people act like they have so many secrets, and I'm like,
I'm open book.
We all have past. We all have trauma. We all have, like,
my Finsta knows everything about my life. Everything.
I literally don't post on my Finsta anymore. I don't care about it.
I'm a 20-year-old woman, and I'm a 20-year-old female, and I still actively post on my Finsta. I just love it, and I can't picture myself posting what I put on my Finsta on my real Instagram. I always have to have it. I always gotta have it. I will probably have it till the day I die.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Airing out the laundry.
Airing out the laundry. Like, we actually have fucking laundry to air out.
We just got this. I mean, I don't know if just people don't know it, but we know it, and a lot of our close friends know it. But now anybody who listens will know it. Other than that, that was us in a nutshell.
Yeah, just the introductions, the backstory on the two of us.
We have a lot of topics that we want to cover.
Yeah.
And every episode every Friday, baby. But yeah, that was the first episode of Golden Gals.
Yay!
And
we're excited.
Thank you for listening. This means a lot.
Yeah, it actually means the world, because we just started this because we just thought it'd be a good idea, and we just get along so well that it's like.
And why not start something that other 20-something normal life girls can relate to?
Yeah, that's really what it's about. And it's just sharing our thoughts and opinions on things.
Growing up, how to grow up in today's world. I mean, we're not experts, but we'll share some tips. It's going to be good. So we hope you're along for the ride.
Yeah, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
You didn't get too bored of us. Because we love us. So that's all that matters. But yeah. Great episode for the Golden Gals. And we'll see y'all next Friday.
Peace.